So, the first announcement of the show was the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, I'm not gonna go to any leaks because, well, I didn't see them, and plus, that's not what these were made for, but it was still kinda cool. I mean, the Mario Galaxy movie. Now, I remember seeing on fandom that was called Super Mario World, so that definitely isn't the case. Anyways, this is cool, just nothing to really get very, I guess, excited about. And they said this was the core part of Mario's 40th anniversary. So, that just didn't sound right. Something that's coming out next year. You'd think it'd be something like a major port or something. But no, it's coming out next year. It's like if the 35th anniversary mainly comprised of games releasing the next year. To be fair, there were some, but not many. The first thing they talked about after the movie was Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. I mean, I really wanted these games. I mean, now Sunshine's coming again, so eventually this will mean you'll get every single 3D Mario on Nintendo Switch. A bit weird that they didn't remaster the game. Come on, at least Super Mario Galaxy 1 from 3 All-Stars would make sense. But I don't think so. And it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm friends with people wondering, but like, if they put this game to on Switch with drivers computer, yeah. And I do wish they had a Switch 2 edition with controls and stuff. But I guess this is just please Nintendo, make this thing cheaper. God damn. The first new game was Mario Tennis Fever. This is not the sports series people wanted. They wanted sluggers, but they didn't get it. Anyways, this looked pretty cool. I originally thought this was not gonna be a good game, and everybody would be like, oh my god, sports games, don't these suck now? But it looks like they learned from Strikers and made a good looking game with new stuff. So they showed off some unique elements. Don't know why they wanted to start by showing off basic gameplay. But when they showed the Fever rackets, I realized, okay, this actually has some game in it. It's not Ultra Smash, it's more like the Prime games. This is pretty much a modern Mario sports game that it should be, you know. Taking the Gamecube wacky ideas and putting them in a HD setting. They showed some ideas like the mini mushroom, fire racket and all. Shadow Racket and a couple more I think. But anyway, what really interested me was, I think they said there were quite a lot of playable characters, and also the fact that there is going to be a story mode in this game, which is very interesting since you think they wouldn't put one given how they were. But no, there was actually a reason to play this game, like I said, and it looks like it's gonna be interesting. I don't think this might be the best game natively on Switch, not counting stuff on NSO, like Mario Strikers, Gamecube. And they showed Baby Waluigi. Yeah, they had to for some reason. So yeah, this looks quite cool. And February 2026 looks like this is gonna be their major release for the beginning of the year. So next on the Mario 40th anniversary was Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meet Up in Billabella. Come on Nintendo, don't put Switch 2 Edition titles in games that have another the subtitle in them, like Plus Jamboree TV, Star-Crossed World, Meet Up in Billabella Park here. Just as irritating. I remember hearing somewhere this game was talked about, but I remember also not talking about leaks, I said, so not gonna mention this. They showed off some cool multiplayer modes that I don't think really make this game like 10 times better, but it does look quite cool. The fact is that just these aren't a new campaign or coming to the Mushroom Kingdom. These are just fun multiplayer modes when you want to have typical as Mario run in this kind of game. It is kind of cool. Like they skipped out on free-for-all modes in the base game. I mean, they had that in New Super Mario Bros. U, so now they finally added these free-for-all multiplayer modes back into this game. And also that this is the DLC because they had a lot of DLC for the previous games. Like, I mean, New Super Luigi U for New Mario U, and the packs for Coin Rush in New Super Mario Bros. 2. So this game finally has its DLC, though if it should probably would have come out a year afterwards if it was one of the new Mario games. Anyway, back to the actual damn game. Yeah, it looks like some fun, though nothing too special. I mean, again, it is just some multiplayer modes. And also they announced the Talking Flower as an interactable product. Okay. I think they're trying to get merchandise as much as possible. So anyways, that was that. And next on the list was Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Now, I originally thought this would be like Yoshi's Woolly World since that was shown off in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Though that was probably just a mistake. Anyways, this game looks kinda fun, but it could be quite kiddish. I haven't played any of the other Yoshi games, but going off what other people seem to say, yeah, I don't think this is the most interesting Yoshi game. And interesting that they'd end off their Mario 40th anniversary with something that isn't even Mario. And plus, this isn't the last Mario announcement we got, so strange why they ended it off with this. But I mean, what would they end it off with? Mario Movie 2? So, yeah, they didn't have much for Mario's 40th anniversary, given how most of these came out, or will come out next year. It depends on when you watch this video. So, just, kind of interesting how they pretty much didn't have much until they realized it. This was pretty much why this direct was 60 minutes long, because of all of this. Now, speaking of Mario's 40th anniversary, they had a bunch of stuff that I didn't really care about, like supporting the Kyoto Marathon and stuff. But I think they should have probably focused on just starting some games up. So anyways, the game does look somewhat fun, but probably could be more fleshed out. And it's coming in spring 2026, which was a couple of games was announced in, and most games that they talked about that were already revealed, I'll get to this later, were given release dates or release windows. And yeah. So then we moved into third parties, which honestly I am not the most interested in. Like Stormlancers, I remember when that came, I went to take a pee. I know I should have watched it, but what the hell, I needed to pee in the toilet, not take my laptop with me to watch the trailer for a game I did not care much about. So that was that. Then we had Dinkum, which did not look very interesting. It looked like a very boring Minecraft in Australia. So, anyways, this game just doesn't look interesting. I feel like I've spent more time talking about this game than Stormlancers, which is the game I took a pee when it was being shown off. So, yeah, actually it has been more learning. So then they show off this game, Popocom, which look kind of like a Splatoon and It Takes Two hybrid. It looks like a game where you have to use different ink style colors to solve puzzles and stuff. Like this is a Hazelight Studios game. Does look kind of fun, though nothing I'm actively screaming for. I mean, this is one of those games that just kind of exists. But anyways, there's not much to talk about, so on to the next third party game. Next game was Tomodachi Life. It was cool that they showed a couple things about it and made the release window spring, though I thought they would release in summer, like June, July, this and Rhythm Heaven Groove. But it was still cool to get some more release date info. Just, I'm not the most into this kind of game. I'm more into action games, So, not my most interested game at this point in time, but I mean, it's cool to see Nintendo resurrecting more franchises. Like, I think they've been doing this since 2020. Like, 2020 they had like Clubhouse Games, 2021 Big Brain Academy, 2022 Mario Strikers, 2023 they resurrected F-Zero, if you can believe that. 2024 I think they got Princess Peach and Mario and Luigi Endless Ocean. And now 2025 I won't know, but something probably. I don't think I'm actually anything this year, but next year we'll get Tomodachi and Rhythm Heaven. So cool nonetheless, even though we didn't get Rhythm Heaven. Wish we did. Next this is a game of hack and slash games. Starting off with Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Honestly, these games kinda look like SNES games that were forced onto the NES. Like, why are they so pixelated? Come on. It is cool that they're not just bringing home console games over and also bringing arcade games over. That is quite interesting, but again, I'm not have much knowledge in Mortal Kombat with a lot of these franchises actually. But I mean, with a bunch of bonus content, I do think this looks quite interesting. Next was Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. Now this was cool to see. I remember the 777 rumor, and it's like the only 7 game there was. Some people thinking Rebirth was coming, but I thought Rebirth or Remake Integrate would come. Now, remember they were announced this for 2025, and given how this is now releasing in January of 2026, it does feel a bit off. Like, I guess they delayed the game, but still, it's not a big deal, and we do need something, so that's cool. Next is Hades 2. Okay, pretty cool. I do want to try first Hades eventually, but for now, this looks kinda cool, though I really want to play the first game before this game. I remember reading, I think from Nintendo, that this game was coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 before other consoles. Though it was on the first versions to get it, as the early access has already launched, like last year in May. Anyways, we did get the official release date, and just like the first game, it's staggered. So September 25th for digital, and then in October or November, I think, for the physical. Next was Link, though, what this game is. Not the most interested into this. It's just kind of more games. But I mean, this is 60 minutes. They have to put something in it. But anyways, on to the next game. We go into Kirby Air Riders again, and they announced 2 major things. Amiibo, which are kind of like Skylander Swap Force, in the sense that you can take off the characters from the vehicle and put them onto the other vehicle. They do release the same day as the game, which, speaking of Amiibo, like the Galaxy 1 Plus 2 are coming a bit afterwards. Anyways, that's interesting, I guess. And they also said there'll be a second direct. Like, come on, this game? I feel like they're desperately trying to get people to buy this game because, you know, most people will see this, see Mario Kart, and go, okay, why do I want that game? I'll just go get Mario Kart World. So I think they're desperately trying to get as many people to buy it. The next game was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This looks kinda interesting, though I'm not playing Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild for that matter, or any Zelda game, so I don't think I'll start here. I mean, they gave a release date of November 6th, which is pretty neat. They also showed off some story elements, and I hope this is canon, because if this is like Age of Calamity, I don't think as many people would be interested. Overall, it came out this year, which was not what I was expecting, and November was the last thing I expected. And hopefully this game has a better frame rate. Like Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Age of Calamity do actually run better. So hopefully this game does too. Anyways, oh yeah, before I end this part, there's also game share, so that's kinda cool, I guess. Next up is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Now, in my mind, I was flip-flopping between a Golden Sun game, and when they talked about Mysterious Artifact, for some reason, I thought that was Professor Layton somehow. Now, yes, I was being stupid, but I do think Nintendo could have used more updates on Professor Layton. I mean, that game was announced in March for this year, and that was it. So, I thought that game would have been re-revealed or something here, so we would have found out. But anyways, I'm not played many Dragon Quest games. By many, I mean any. So get out M. So I don't think I'll start here, but I guess this is kinda cool. I mean, Nintendo's probably gonna publish this game because they tend to publish Dragon Quest, so yeah. This is a Nintendo game technically. And then after nothing, we get something interesting. Virtual Boy. Now, I thought they'd come because, like, they only have, like, what, the Wii, DS maybe, and 3DS for game consoles to do. So, going back to Virtual Boy is pretty cool. Hopefully we get like arcade games or color TV games because those are other things Nintendo's made. But I mean, it is kinda cool. Though it's probably not gonna last very long since like they'll probably get them till 2026. I don't think they'll release a Virtual Boy game in 2027. Partly because there are only 14 North American Virtual Boy games. Also, I am not that interested knowing that you need to buy an accessory to play these games, so you probably do need them, but I would like it cool if they found a way to get it without having to spend accessories. Anyways, interesting. Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. Just interested as to why they showed this game off as if it's very interesting. I don't think Fatal Frame is that interesting, at least for me. I mean, there was an exclusive Fatal game for Wii U that came over for Switch. I remember them showing that off at E3 2021, so it is cool, I guess. But for people who've played this game or something, not for people who, you know it, me, don't care about this franchise. They then talk about Switch 2 editions. First up is One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I'm not sure why this game needed to be shown given how this is the second Warriors game. Then we got Overcooked 2, which is kinda neat. I mean, I don't think it's very necessary, but interesting nonetheless. They then talk about Switch 2 editions. First up is One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I'm not sure why this game needed to be shown given how this is the second Warriors game. Then we got Overcooked 2, which is kinda neat. I mean, I don't think it's very necessary, but interesting nonetheless. Then Stardew Valley came with mouse controls. Okay, I guess that could be useful in this kind of game. They also said Game Share would be supported. Okay. Then we got Power Wash Simulator 2 for Switch 2. Okay, I guess it's interesting. I mean, the first game was on Switch 1, so the second game on Switch 2. Now, this game looks like it's probably a bit like therapeutic, you know, though it does look a bit low res at times, like so Switch 1 gameplay that was put onto Switch 2. So, yeah. Elevators, I mean, that's cool, but just kind of looks like more Power Wash Simulator 2. I mean, Simulator 1. For some reason, they decided to talk about Suika Game Planet. I don't know why they talked about this game, but they did, and I don't know what to say about it. One of those games that, like, you think Xbox would show it because they feel like it, not Nintendo would show it because why not? Anyways, why am I talking about this game anymore? And then we get a new look at Metroid Prime 4. Now for some reason I thought this was the Dust Bloods, but then when Samus showed up, I knew no, it wasn't. It's obviously Metroid. Now I'm not sure about the new suit, just kinda looks a bit off. To be fair, I mean, I think the purple thing on his head is a bit off. Anyways, they showed some slightly open world aspects of the game. It doesn't look very fun, but I mean, this was a Switch 1 game, so it's not gonna look this good, but I mean, it's on Switch 1, so that's pretty cool. Just look at this. Nothing much. Some driving combat was shown, but this is clearly just some filler gameplay thrown in to get some more gameplay hours in. Then they showed up some more more, you know, normal parts of the game, and then gave the release date of December 5th, I think, which is pretty cool. Then we get Donkey Kong DLC. For some reason I thought this was Sonic Frontiers 2, but yeah, that's not Sonic Frontiers, that's Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong DLC is cool, demo available is even cooler considering this is the big 3D Mario game and they're giving demos. Do you see demos for Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey? No, which is why this is very interesting. DLC being $20 is a bit much, but this is Nintendo, okay? They've done some weird things. So it's mainly just the new mode. I mean, Rush, Emerald Rush, and a new small layer, DK Island. $20. I mean, you kinda get what you want, get enough. Although I'm not too sure how much content it truly is. It's available on a few layers, which I guess is nice. But why wasn't this in the Mario 40th anniversary and instead was its own thing? I don't know. You'd think they'd put it in that. I mean, that didn't have too much going on. So you show some Donkey Kong stuff afterwards and you don't expect me to ask, well, why wasn't this in the anniversary? Well, you know, foolish for thinking that. Next up is a new Pokemon spin-off. Pokemon Pokepedia. It's about playing as a Dido who looks like a girl and gets abilities from other Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's a Minecrafty game and this is the kind of thing that makes you go, wait, they just copyrighted basic gameplay elements of Pokemon and now are expecting us to be okay when they put a game on that looks quite similar to Minecraft. Like, huh? This looks like a bit of hypocrisy. I know it's not completely Minecraft, but come on. Seriously. I mean, I honestly think there's not much to this game, but it looks like a cozy game you can pop in once in a while. So, yeah, I guess that's it for this game. Okay, what was this game again? Oh, was that the Dangaruga game or something? Yeah, I have no idea what this game was. So yeah, I got nothing. Okay, another Warriors game. This was the third Warriors game in this show. We had Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. We had One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 Switch 2 Edition. And now Dynasty Warriors Origins coming on Switch. I mean, it's kind of cool. We got another big 2025 game on the Switch too, so it's gonna be like a year old. But why? Like, why put 3 Warriors games in your press conference? I honestly think this probably looked like it was gonna be a bit stretched out. Looking back, it looks a bit stretched out at this point. I didn't feel that in the show itself, but rather looking at it now, like stuff like the DLC for Pokemon and this, screamed to me how they probably could have trimmed out some more unnecessary elements. Tell you what's less unnecessary, Monster Hunter Stories 3. I mean, we saw this at the partner showcase last month essentially, and we got some new look at it. Like, they showed off some switching to animals and a few small glitches. Like, see this? You see a bit of a glitch there. It's something that you don't think that anybody would show. Like, here also, there's another sort of glitch. Nothing big, but just interesting. Anyways, haven't really played Monster Hunter, but might try out some of these Switch games. Just please get Wild over. Then I might actually try that game out. Because, you know, I can actually play it. I don't have a PS5. We get a sizzle reel of games like 2 Point Museum, FC26, Little Nightmares 3, and a couple other games. So, nothing much to say here other than this happened. Then we get a trailer for Resident Evil Requiem coming on Switch 2 day and day, alongside Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil Village. Like, this is what I want from Switch 2. Not a Borderlands 4 kind of deal where the game gets mediocre reviews and comes to systems a bit later. No, I want a game like this, where it comes day and day. They also releasing the other Resident Evils on that day. So this falls in line with the rumor of all the Resident Evil engine games coming to Switch 2. We just need the remix now, and I don't think they're gonna be the most far off. And the final thing was Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, releasing in 2026. This was the end of the show. Are you kidding me? Like, this is a decent reveal, but like, I think there were some other games they could have revealed. Like, actually, wait, what could they have revealed? Okay, like, I think that's a big problem. Like, Nothing big. Maybe Metroid Prime 4 getting a big reveal trailer, like showing off a bit more of the game, and then the release date to end the show off. Maybe, but this doesn't look bad. It just looks not like the final game in the press conference. So overall, the direct wasn't bad. I think it was good. It's just that there weren't many system sellers, like a couple new Mario games that aren't gonna sell the system. Fire Emblem is a bit too niche. Same with Tomodachi. Nobody's gonna buy a Switch 2 for Switch 2 edition games, and that includes day and day Switch 2 editions like Metroid Prime 4. Strange Tomodachi Life still doesn't have a Switch 2 edition though. Mario Galaxy is too overpriced, but overall, I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. Hopefully they make a new direct soon so I can talk about that.